They'll never...
Velma seen out of sorts to you?
She's always cranky.
Ooh, you're the new face. So who do you follow? Wait, don't tell. That's a shame. Tossball's just... So, what... Signed by the Black Hole himself. There's no way I could pass that up. Why, did you want to see it? I don't have it yet. I'm waiting on a few customers to pay up before I can give Velma the bits.
Have you had time to check on that poster? That don't seem fair. I was the one who asked for it in the first place. You think maybe you could talk to Velma, see if she won't change her mind?
We spat in your spirit.
You notice my mood?
I could be seeing triple and I'd still think you're being...
Well, you try wrangling half a ton of dead fish with decades-old equipment and see what it does for your disposition. Anyway. Sure can. Fine by me?
I'm real sorry about your friends, Yoka. Ain't no one deserves to feel like that. Certainly not folks just trying to...
New face, huh? A ship captain? Well, I'll be. Why don't you grab a chair?
By the smell, he's been reveling enough for you both already.
Me and my friends have taken our destiny into our own hands. We're untethered, free of responsibility and worldly cares. Well, as long as we don't run out of bits. But until the windfall's gone, we're riding high. See, we just walked out on our work. Had enough, we did. So now we're striking. It ain't any one thing but the sum of it all, having to work longer shifts for less bits. And the wages we do earn don't cover as much as they used to. Our supervisor, Velma, goes on and on about quarterly profits and meeting quotas. But that ain't what Sanjar promised us. Velma refuses to negotiate, so we're refusing to work. We won't go back until she agrees to pay us fair and proper. Us on Monarch. We're free from the board, you know? We have the right to lobby for better hours and pay. Sure thing. Not forever, but we've each saved up our bits, and I stashed them safe in my home by the diner. I reckon we could last a week or two at least. If I knew that, I'd have tried it. Talking reasonably got me nowhere. Maybe you'll fare better. The others wanted to blackmail her, but we're above that. Besides, them are just rumors. We got no proof they're true. I would never endorse such an untoward tactic, you know, but, well, there's rumors that Velma's taking a cut off the profits. So far, it's just gossip, you know, but if there was any proof to be had, it'd be in the Saltuna warehouse, I reckon.
Whatever you do, don't mention Tossball to Isaac. You'll never hear the end of it.
You know, I haven't seen him in a while.
If you'd gotten stuck in an hour-long rant about mostly colonists, you'd be thankful.
You startled me. Don't sneak up on a person like that, huh? Braxton, I've never even heard of a No! Okay, maybe, just a little. Braxton always has a good stash, and I just like to let loose a little. Stop thinking about the marauders and the raptidons outside, you know? Oh, damn. He told me he was delivering to this house in the ruins south of town. Whole family had fallen sick, and he had some meds on hand. So maybe look for him there?
I'll be straight with you. Folk who disappear in the wilderness generally aren't able to come back. Don't get your hopes up. What was it like in Edgewater? I hear you workers were on the clock every available moment.
We always got 8 hours a day for sleeping. Just not always consecutive.
My condolences. I appreciate consistent wages like any other sane person, but that still sounds awful. At least Sanjar gives his folks weekends.
Weekends?
Hands of the Void. I used to drop by the bar in Stellar Bay to knock a few back with the folks who had Saturdays off.
Don't know what I'd have done with that much time. I was always behind schedule anyhow.
Knowing you, you'd sit and be alone with your thoughts.
Smells like those old Sundays when we'd unload Saltuna shipments to the cabin.
A visitor? What an unexpected surprise! Please, come in. Come in.
I'm getting real bad fight or flight right now. Watch your step. People ain't this friendly outside city walls.
The Edgewater deserters were perfectly nice, and they lived outside the city walls. Well, maybe not Adelaide, but everyone else.
That's the spirit. Now come in. Make yourselves comfortable. I'm afraid we don't get many visitors out here. The Raptidons and Marauders scare off all but the boldest.
And if you've braved them, you must be exhausted.
Why don't you stay for dinner? I'm sure I would remember something like that. Now, quit fretting your...
Something ain't right about this.
Hey, liar! You're trying to steal the last... The ones that come in a bottle with a rocket ship on it. Like the other man. I'm not telling you.
What a yet... What tiresome company we'd be. Just that your presence here is a gift. Look at me, prattling on.
This'll be fine!
Suck it up! No.
Sulfur-sodden asshole. Ain't enough that the raps eat everyone? Now people are doing it too?
Did you have a sweetheart in Stellar Bay?
I had a fling or two, sure. But on Monarch, relationships ain't usually meant to last. A lot of fools tried to impress me, feigning bravado in the wilds, thinking they'd catch my attention with their stories. It was cute. Not so cute when their act got themselves munched. You know what's sexy? Confidence. You know what ain't? Disembowelment.
I'd give you a friendlier welcome, but I'm up to my elbows in salt tuna guts.
Gosh, this old girl's in a rough way. Even old Bess in Edgewater was in better shape than this.
Hey, you want to try running a cannery with obsolete machinery? You be my guest.
Sorry, ma'am. I wasn't trying to be rude. It's just your flanging apparatus isn't making a strong flange, so your sealer isn't sealing right, and...
Oh, I see what you're saying. Huh. I'll have to try that. Anyway, what do you folks need? That he's got his load on and I'm stuck covering his shift? That's... Wow. I sure feel like an ass now. Yeah, I wouldn't wish that on Catherine herself. Still, it's good to know what happened to him. And that I ought to start looking for a replacement. Something else on your mind?
Sounds like wrapped in here.
Oh, it does work.
Sure can. Fair enough. The damn thing's been a headache. Take the poster then. And if I know something else on...
Have you had time to check on that post? Would you look at that? The Rizzo's logo is nice and bright, and you can still smell the ink on Mr. Holcomb's signature. I can't thank you enough. Still, you can have the bits I was going to spend at the bar this week. And you know what? Take my old tossball blocker too. Never get the chance to use it these days.
What do you think of the unreliable Parvati?
There's always something to fix, and it's neat working in the Aether. I always took Atmo for granted. Now, if I drill through the hole, we'll suffocate. Exciting, you know?
I'm not sure I wanted to know that. Being in space sets me on edge enough.
You know about stellar emissions? Actually, I probably shouldn't tell you about those. I mean, not unless you want to know how we're all likely to get spacers long.
Right. Okay. When we get back to the ship, I'm drinking this conversation right out of my recollection. So the ship talks? Do all ships do that?
I can't say for certain, since I only ever been on this one. Ada's something special though, ain't she?
Ada. What is it? She? It? I'm a bit fuzzy on the details.
Used to be I thought she was a simulated intelligence. You know, a long series of commands telling her how to react to certain inputs.
You used to. What do you think now?
Well, I worked with a lot of machines, and ain't none of them like her. They can be pretty smart, but mostly they're rule books with a voice box. Ada's different.
One of life's mysteries, I suppose. I don't trust it. If it crashes us into a star, I'll be a mite upset.
Go take a walk, Captain. I'll find you once my head's on straight.
Keep him quiet, Cap. I've got hurt.
So Ada isn't really alive, but she can still talk like a person. What about Sam? What's it? Sorry. Is he the same thing?
Sam's an automechanical thing, not a computer brain thing like Ada. I don't think Sam understands gender, so you can call him Nate if you want.
Right, but she's a machine, he's a machine. How are they different?
You know how I said Ada was special? Her wiring's a whole lot more complex than Sam's, so she can simulate a personality better than he can. She got more tools in her box, so to speak.
So he's following his own rules, making everything obnoxiously clean because he has to. Maybe I ought to let up on him a bit.
Oh, Nyoka. How have you been? Nothing on this moon for nobody. There's a lot of heartbreak. You know, a tiny part, a damn stupid part of me hoped he was still out there. What happened? Damn. Well, you find her... Well, ain't you clever? Fine. I was supposed to pick him up that night. Thing is, another offer came along. Bit more lucrative. And their payment almost died with them. Thanks to you, I can afford another round. Cheers, hero. Look, I like your gumption. I was gonna share the bits, but here's a couple extra. Now go on. Leave an old man to his past.
I don't have time for this.
Go take a walk, Captain. Find you.
It's the strangest thing. I still can't That's a relief. So you can imagine I would be even more... Here, take this, if it will Nyoka?
I don't know what it is, but my gun's been acting funny. Used to be, I had to correct for a bit of leftward drag. Got used to standing just so, and after a while, it put a thorn in my side, something awful. Lately, though, it ain't pulling. I find my stance much improved.
Oh, that's real good to hear. It took me a while to, never mind.
What? Girl, have you been touching my stuff?
I'm sorry, I should have asked. I just got real bored, and I seen you leaning, and the gun was sitting right there.
You know, the last time I caught someone messing with my equipment, I threw him in a sulfur pool. But I appreciate the help. You want to make modifications, just come ask me, all right? I ain't gonna bite.
You ever worry all that ammo in your berth might combust?
What? Wait, that's... It can do that?
All it takes is a little bit of black powder next to a lot of bits of fertilizer and one real hot day, and boom. I've seen it happen.
I don't know what's more unsettling. The concept of my ammunition spontaneously combusting, or the fact that this is the kind of thing you think about on the regular.
Be careful with your new friends in Amber Heights. Anyway, then it's good that I keep... Why wouldn't... To be on the... I'm... If member... Besides...
Don't get ahead of you.
Yes, my hope... What can I do? Be careful with your new friend. Anyway, Well, forgive me anyway. Oh, yes. I'm going to be up all night with this. All those...
Try to control yourself.
Have you any idea how powerful this is? But that's exactly what this is. The world isn't changed with guns and speeches, much as Graham and his followers would like to think, but rather with meticulous documentation. And the Bill of Liquidation/Transfer Form 52 is one of the most formidable pieces of data entry in all of Halcyon. One false stroke can invalidate the entire document.
It's true. One of the old execs gave herself a stroke trying to fill out the exemption section.
For our part, a Bill of Liquidation/Transfer Form 52 will protect our holdings on Monarch by temporarily assigning them to a pass-through entity once we drop our bomb on the board. See, that doesn't even make sense. This is an electronic form.
Hardly the point, sir.
I have reason to believe that one of the other corporations is operating on Monarch, illegally and in secret.
Those bastards. Leave us to our perils, then come back just to reap what they can.
If we can find proof, I can use that as leverage to encourage certain powers that be to accept our Bolt 52 and reinstate us on the board. If someone is operating here, then Catherine's almost certainly supplying them out of Fallbrook. Perhaps she could be convinced to tell you where they are. That's part of the problem. She has...
Don't get yourself worked up, sir.
We really... Once you, subtly work out where this corporate facility... I knew... Thank you again for retrieving the bolt. Anyway? Excellent timing on your part. I worked my fingers to nubs, but I find...
You're getting ahead of yourself again.
So I am. That's just cruel. I'm working on a plan to reorganize the board.
What's gonna happen to the people here when the board figures out what you're doing?
Well, by that point, my hope is that we'll be on the board once more.
I'm just... Maybe I'm worrying too much, but it seems the folks here get plans made for them an awful lot.
Once MSI is restored, the people of Monarch... But truly, I am getting ahead of my... I knew there was something going on. This is exactly the proof we need. I'll transmit this data along with the completed Bolt 52 right away.
That means no more broadcasts from us.
Then it's good. What can I do?
dodged the board assigned you when you came of age. Bet it was something real neat. It's like professional flexing.
Wilderness patrol. Plenty of folk traveling on...
Do you hear that? It's the blessed sound of radios. Yes, indeed. But before we get...
Does it matter?
I don't know how. The two are diametrically I don't doubt that you are working with Phineas, but my contract specifies I relay any acquired information to the purchaser. However, to send the data, I will need your assistance in cycling the antenna's receiver so I can input the needed adjustment. You make it sound so... Phineas has been in hiding for the past 35 years. He got in touch with Nyoka first, who I use as a physical go-between. The rest is history.
Now you hold on. I do not physically go between anyone but that of my choose... Oh, apologies. You...
Precisely. Don't be ridiculous. We're resetting a broadcast tower, not filing tax. It's simple, truly. I merely need you to waltz outside and throw the lever. Eternal no. What is wrong with you? However, you're welcome to brew me a Rizzo Insta-Coffee from the staff kitchen on your way. Just step outside.
This is why I stopped helping out around here, you know. It's always throw this lever.
If that's really all, let's just get it done with and be on our...
Terrific. I'll be here.
Testing 1, 2, check, check. Sweet stars. But that is a beautiful sound. Can you hear me? We are a go for broadcast. Oh, and I also dispatched Phineas his data. Impatient prick. Worse, I'm now indebted to him for it. Now I'll kindly thank you to get out of my tower. Look, I am well aware that at times I may have the tiniest iota of a prickly exterior, but I must admit I have grown rather... As Nyoka can attest,
Why, he told us to leave without flinging insults at our persons. He really does like you, Captain.
Captain! Big flaming thingy!
Black holes. Looks like a UDL ship. Based on the gunnery attachments, I guess it's one of the board's blockade enforcers. Oh well, a pity for the crew. But I can't see how... Hiram? Can you hear me? Did you see that? Architect saved me from swindlers and fools. Sanjar, what are you bloody doing on my Yes, but... Hiram. The good captain. The truth brings us together. Are you mad? That's a UDL gunship. You'd probably shoot your own toes off. I see you learned nothing while dealing. We could use the gunship's armaments to defend Stellar Bay, but our message is so close to breaking free of this planet and spreading to the stars. Listen, I don't care a single whit what you do, so long as you leave me out of it. Which means, get off my void damn channel. I'm more than finished with you lot.
So much for peace and quiet. And I don't see an Give my regard. So much for... Yes, the one that crashed. I saw it on the security. What about it? The board has a blockade of gunships that patrol Monarch. I am curious as to what downed it. A faulty part wouldn't be wholly Ugh, now I'll never sleep. I may have a seat. Ask me. What? No. Why would I go out of my... Now, if you wanted me to intercept it... Not much. I do know there is a sharper side to the good scientist than you'd expect. If allegations are to be believed, I am not convinced as to the validity of these allegations. Luckily for... If you try to cite me on this, I will deny. MSI's ownership of Monarch is technically legal, but it would give MSI too much power on the board to grant them such status. Exactly. But You didn't hear so much as a whisper of such from me. Luckily, how low you... Be a doll.
that was a hunch. And you sure know how to set a woman's heart to beating, that's for sure. Go on ahead, Captain. I'm not keen on ship. Even when they're in the best of shape.
Yep. We'll be keeping watch. Here.
On this gunship, and I'd like to let the record show that our captain is a total fucking hullhead. I told him again and again that without fixing our regulators, spinning up the engines are going to blow through our coils and we'll go flying off in a completely random direction. Well, here we are. Thinking we'll hit soil in about 30 seconds. This is your chief engineer signing off for what is probably the last time. It's a shame you can't see this middle finger I'm holding up, because I'm doing it as hard as I can.
something you need?
Captain, we should chat. Graham's got the right idea, but he isn't the right guy to execute it. I don't even think he's motivated by philosophism anymore. I think he's just guilt-ridden. I can't believe I'm even saying this, but I keep going over and over it in my head, and the only way I see the Iconoclast surviving is we depose him. Yeah. Hell, most of our people listen to me already. Take Stellar Bay. Lick our wounds. Eventually, figure out how the hell we're going to spread the word to the rest of the colony. Sometimes, you gotta do what's best for someone. Even if they think you're wrong. Even if it's painful. When we're in Stellar Bay, they'll come around. I'm going to confront him. Okay. Deep breaths.
If the Iconoclasts reach that ship first, there won't be any chance for a peaceful monarch. I don't suppose you've found the targeting module yet? I've sent patrols, but they're running into trouble with the Iconoclasts. They're all mad! And what's more, they left us! I don't see any way for us to work together. Not this again.
Remember what we practiced, sir.
Yes. The words in those reviews were very hurtful, but they do not define me. I am a Mantipillar, and my... You too?
He has a point, sir. And it's not all bad.
Supposing you're right, who exactly would you have me work with? The iconoclasts are not the most compromising sorts. That's an interesting suggestion. I confess I don't know much about her except that she worked for Rizzo.
There ain't a body on this planet that can keep a group patched up like she has. I don't know how she does it.
I'd be willing to consider it, but I need to see her review first. Very well. I can't promise anything, but let's see what we have here. Well, it seems like she's actually very qualified.
If it weren't for her, I'd wager the iconoclast would have died off a while ago.
I wasn't expecting to say this, but if you can put her in charge and convince her to agree to a meeting, I'd be willing to discuss terms.
Captain, Graham's got the right idea. I can't... Yeah. Take Stellar Bay. Sometimes you gotta do what's best. I'm going to... Okay. Deep.
Captain, you must be back with the access codes to our new ship.
Graham, we need to talk.
We have work to do. This isn't the time for one of our spats. What? Zora?
You're running the iconoclast into the ground, and I don't believe it'll get better after we take Stellar Bay. The troops take orders from me already, and you've brought me as far as you can down the eternal path. It's time to step down.
The troops? Listen to you. This isn't an army. They aren't soldiers. They're believers. Followers. They pick up a gun because you tell them to, not because they want to. And you, Captain, after all you've done for me, for us, you throw behind this mutinous blasphemer? I built this movement from the ground up. I've brought freedom to Monarch, and all these years later, we're still free.
I joined because I believed that you were in it for the iconoclasts. That you wanted nothing more than to bring freedom to Halcyon. That you were selfless. But I know the truth now, Graham. I know what happened in Amber Heights. You didn't start this movement because you wanted to save us. You wanted to save yourself.
No. Guilty? I didn't mean for them to die. I'm not a monster. Of course I feel fucking guilty. I've spent years atoning for my sins. I've studied, meditated, taught. I built the iconoclasts so that any man could cast away his past for a fresh start.
That's your answer, Graham? You needed a fresh start? After all those innocent lives? I'm sorry. I believed in you once. I did. But it's over. stand down.
I won't. What happened back then was a mistake, and the colony has moved on. This is my movement. These are my people. If you want to lead them, you'll have to kill me.
Please. Don't make me do this, Graham.
If this is where my path ends, I accept it. But as long as I draw breath, I will not abandon them.
So be it. Well, Captain, here we are. Killed a lot of people in the name of the Iconoclasts, and it never feels right. But this time, it's especially wrong. You've got the... Void help me. I'll never remember what that thing is called. The device from the ship. I've thought about it, but I think we're too far gone. Pulling Carlotta's support was crossing a line. Yeah, well, we'll die Fuck. I sound like Graham. Throwing lives at a problem. We've lost a hell of a lot to this fight. Graham would never agree to this, but I'm starting to realize how often he led us astray. All right. If he's willing to talk, I'll give him a chance. Well then. I've got to prepare a few just-in-case measures, but when you're ready, let's meet at the old OSI church outside Stellar Bay.
Watch yourself up there.
Hey, thanks for coming.
I wish I'd had more time to prepare a proper analysis on the costs and benefits of your proposed union, but I suppose we'll have to improvise.
Gotta admit, I really thought I was walking into a trap here. I'm ready.
If it were, I wouldn't be standing here all vulnerable-like.
Sanjar, Stellar Bay's got food and walls. And my people need both. If you'll have us, we're willing to share the space.
Do you have any idea what that would cost? Why, drawing up the budget alone is going to take weeks.
Not good enough. I need to move a fair amount of my people into the city. We need shelter, Captain. Suppose some of our healthier folk could offer aid. Some of us need to stay in the city proper, though.
Captain, this might really work.
Truly, a compromise? I'm not sure I'd ever have heard as much from Graham.
Graham was a murderous fiend, and I'd be shocked if you didn't already know that.
This feels like one of those times when everyone at headquarters but me is laughing at something. But you two aren't laughing.
Amber Heights, you haulhead. 10 years ago, Graham had all those people killed.
What? That's not possible. Even for him, that's going too far. But that means... I had no idea, I swear. Look, we were both fed up with corporate leadership, but I never guessed he'd do something like that.
I buy it. Sanjar ain't capable of hurting a sprat, even from a distance.
You can't take bureaucrats at their word. You back someone into a corner like this, and they'll say anything to get out of it. Okay. You're right. Sorry. It'll take me a while to get over losing Graham.
You know, I felt the same way years ago, when he first left. You know, there was something magnetic about him that let you ignore the things you didn't want to see. But surely you know what that's like.
Yeah, I do. Okay, if you're willing to house and supply some of us, I'll have our more capable soldiers help out.
As am I. Oh, I can feel my blood pressure lowering already.
Thanks for coming out, Sanjar. Guess I'll see you at Stellar Bay.
Gotta be honest, Captain. Never thought I'd see the day. You've done a good thing for Monarch here.
If you'll excuse me.
You don't look like sublight. Must be freelance.
If you'll excuse me.
Hey.